When it comes to Taylor Sheridan, I just don't get it. I don't understand what it is that people like about him. I never saw Sicario. It just did not look interesting to me. I saw Hell or High Water, and I thought that movie was really boring. I don't get why he's one of the next big things. I don't understand what it is about his movies that people like. So you can probably assume I was pretty pessimistic toward going and seeing Wind River. I had seen one trailer before, but I had forgotten about it, and so a friend recommended this movie to me. I just went and saw it completely blind, and then once it started, I forgot that I had actually seen the trailer for it. All I knew about it was that it was directed by Taylor Sheridan. I just didn't like Hell or High Water. I thought it was really boring. It did not deserve to get nominated for Best Picture at all. But Wind River, I can safely say I really did like it. I am still not on board with Taylor Sheridan, but I did enjoy this movie. I found stuff to really like about it, and I think that's maybe because this was his first time directing. Or at least my first time seeing a movie he has directed, because he only wrote Hell or High Water and he wrote Sicario, but he did not direct those movies. But anyway, Wind River is a true story. I don't know anything about the true story, so all I'm gonna say is just what the movie provides. This Native American colony in Wyoming called Wind River, there's a girl named Natalie who is found dead in the snow after having her lungs burst because she ran in the snow for so long away from a rapist. And people don't know who the rapist is. Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen have to solve the crime, but this is not your average crime thriller. This is a Taylor Sheridan movie, and so it is very slow. The thing that I really don't get about him is that people loved Hell or High Water because they said it was so suspenseful and action-packed and thrilling, which it wasn't. It was slow, it focused a lot on character, and I did not like the characters, and so that really didn't do anything for me. But I'm not here to talk about Hell or High Water, but Wind River takes a similar slow approach. The difference is I actually liked the characters in this one, so they carried a large portion of it for me. So you got Jeremy Renner's character. I don't know what his job is. They said it multiple times in the film, but I just don't pay attention to stuff like that. His daughter died 3 years prior, at around the same age that Natalie was, of similar circumstances. She died in the cold, and so he has this character arc over the story where he's kind of coming back to his daughter's death because he's on this case of similar circumstances and it's hard for him. It was a really good character arc. There were some really great scenes of him talking about it. Elizabeth Olsen is with the FBI, and I love her character. I love Elizabeth Olsen as an actress. 2 Avengers were in this movie, and they both gave amazing performances. As I have made it very clear in this review so far, I do not like Taylor Sheridan, but there are a few things that I think he does really well. Dialogue. Whether you like his characters or not, they do act like actual people. They say things that actual people would say, and I do admire that. Also, something else that he manages to get, style. It was filmed on location. I don't know where it was filmed on location, but it was filmed on location somewhere in the mountains, and it looks haunting. It just gives the story this raw, kind of gritty feel. I just love snow in movies because it can symbolize purity but also emptiness, and I thought this movie used the snow really well. The thing that absolutely kills Taylor Sheridan's movies is the pacing, because they are so slow. Hell or High Water, I think that was really slow just because I was not invested in any of it. I did not like the characters. But this movie is slow simply because not very much happens until the very end. Like, literally every scene in this movie is just characters talking with each other. There is no action that is happening. It's mostly about the characters talking about this investigation or talking about their personal lives, and yeah, it's all good. It's really well made, and like I said, the dialogue is really good, but it gets boring at times. There's a sequence in this movie where we get to see what actually happened to the girl. That scene is where the movie gets really interesting. Now, unfortunately, it happens like right before the climax. It doesn't get super interesting until the very end. That scene happens, and then there's this really awesome action scene that happens immediately after it, and then there's this really cool emotional climax. And those 3 scenes back to back are great. Like, I loved that. If the entire movie had been like that, I probably would have given it a much higher rating. The first bit of it just didn't interest me enough. I didn't really care much about what was happening, but I was interested to see what would happen next, if that made sense. So it kept my attention enough, but not as much as I think it wanted to. I'm still not on board with Taylor Sheridan. This was a really good movie. I enjoyed it, and I thought that he did a really good job directing it. I thought he did a good job writing it. But he still fell into the things that I did not like about Hell or High Water to a lesser extent with this movie, but they're still there. His movies are still slow, and it bugs me because I really want to like him because he has some really great things going for him, but I just can't get around to fully investing myself in his movies. I'm gonna give Wind River a 7. I did really enjoy this movie. It is a haunting, great character piece with a phenomenal ending, but yeah, it's just slow. Please like and subscribe and tell me what you think of this review. Watch our other reviews on our channel. Oh, and follow us on Instagram. See ya.